Tonight on the News Hour, death toll from Niger Tanker Explosion rises to 77. Petrol pump price surges to 1,150 naira after Dangote hike. Inside Kaduna orphanages, where caregivers defy human cost to secure future generations. On the foreign scene, thousands attend funeral of Liberian ex-warlord Prince Johnson. Hello and welcome to the News Hour tonight on Trust TV. Over the next hour, we will bring you up to speed on the details of events and stories emanating from different parts of the country and, of course, the nation's capital, Abuja, and developments on the international scene. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll begin with a tragic incident from the north-central region of the country where no fewer than 77 people have been confirmed dead in a tanker explosion at Dikko Junction in Gurara local government area of Niger State. The tragic event, which occurred on Saturday, has plunged the community into mourning and raised concerns about safety measures in the area. The Director General of the Niger State Emergency Management Agency, Abdullahi Baba Ara, who confirmed the death toll, said 25 injured victims were rushed to various hospitals in Suleja, Wuse, and nearby health facilities for urgent medical attention. Following the incident, the Niger State government directed that no vehicle coming from the Maje axis should be allowed to pass through the Dikko Bridge. Governor Umaru Bago gave the directive when he visited the scene of the tanker explosion.
Talk to the federal government to expedite the completion of this road. It is killing our people every day. We have lost over 100 lives, over 70 people in the hospital. Bombs! So we need the cooperation of the Union Transport, the road safety, and also the Nupeng people. All trucks cannot take one way on this flyover. They must go down and take a U-turn after Dikko. You must enforce it from this moment. Enforce it. So I want in sector commander, you must put a unit here, a detachment here, permanent. At any point in time, we find anybody taking one way here, deal with the person. Confiscate the car, the truck. You cannot be killing people. The lives of Nigerians, innocent Nigerians that have been lost today, only God knows. This is pathetic. We are even lucky it didn't extend to these villages here because of the recklessness of drivers. This is our position as a government, and we are going to enforce it.
The governor of Niger State giving strong instructions and directive there. And now joining us via phone call to give an update on the tanker explosion is Daily Trust reporter in the state, Abubakar Akote. Thank you so much for joining us on the News Hour tonight, Abubakar.
Good evening.
Now, this is not the first time we're having a tanker explosion in parts of the country, and now Niger State is making the news. Kindly bring us up to speed on the latest development and what led to this particular incident.
Okay, thank you. I think today's tanker explosion in Niger State happens to be one of the most devastating incidents we've had in recent time in Nigeria. So far, 77 dead bodies have been buried at primary care center Dikko, and there's likelihood that the number of deaths may increase because so far 56 people that are currently in hospital, based on the updates we've had from the Niger State Emergency Management Agency and other authorities. Their conditions are very critical, and which led to prediction that more deaths may increase anytime soon. Currently, we have 23 people at General Hospital Suleja. We have 25 at General Hospital Sabo Wuse, and we have 8 other people at Primary Care Center Dikko. However, some victims have been reportedly taken to traditional centers by their relatives because some people don't believe much on conventional treatment when it comes to fire incidents, fire burns. So immediately the incident happened, they took their relatives to the traditional medicine practitioners for treatment. So for now, we don't know the number of people that are currently not at the conventional hospitals. But the information we have so far, 77 people have so far been buried by authorities.
Okay, it looks like quite the number there. I mean, 77 people have lost their lives and 56 in hospital with critical conditions, and you know the numbers are still rising. But I'd like to hear from you. Would you say, is it a function of the condition of the road, or say the driver's recklessness, or activities of the passers-by and onlookers that led to this particular tragic incident? Just kindly walk us through what happened to it and what happened to these people and how we can avoid this in the nearest future.
This incident can be attributed to several factors. One is the deplorable nature of our roads, which easily caused the fall of these heavy-duty vehicles. Also, the issue of hunger and poverty, because some sources told me that when the body of the trailer of the tanker detached from the head and it fell down, the people went there to scoop the oil, and they were told to stay away. Even the driver told them to stay away. They didn't listen. The police and security operatives, other security operatives were trying to disperse them, but they resisted, and they continued trying to scoop the oil. However, based on what the Niger emergency management said, was that a new tanker was brought to transfer the PMS from the falling tanker to the other tanker, and then they were using a generator nearby. So it was the fuel now that flew to where the generator was on, and the generator now ignited the fire, which led to which engulfed the tanker and the other areas there. However, there were also conflicting reports from other sources that while police and other security agents were trying to disperse the people that were scooping the oil, they didn't go, and some security operators tried to fire gunshots to disperse them, which some say was the cause of the fire. So we cannot actually establish what led to this. But the major causes are deplorable nature of the road, because if the roads are in good conditions, I think the rate at which these heavy duty vehicles fall on our roads will be reduced. However, the poverty too, despite the experiences had in other parts of the country, and the warning is given to people to always stay away when tankers, heavy duty vehicle like tankers fall, and to stay away and desist from scooping the oil. People still indulge in the act because they feel it's a way of making money, not minding the danger. So there are lots of factors that this could be attributed to.
Indeed, Abubakar Akota, I couldn't agree more with you. I'd also like to state that this is clearly a case of recklessness on the part of the people who were there, but we can only hope that this does not occur in the nearest future. Thank you so much for your insight and details on this particular story.
Thank you.
Now, in the meantime, the Minister of Petroleum Resources, Oil, Henneken Lokpobiri, has sympathized with the government and people of Niger State over the explosion of a petrol-laden tanker at Dikko Junction along the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway on Saturday morning. The minister described the incident, which resulted in the loss of lives and injuries to many others, as a tragedy. In a statement issued on Saturday by the Special Assistant on Media and Communication to the Minister, Nyamaka Okafo, Lokpobiri extended his condolences to the families of those who lost their loved ones in the explosion, while emphasizing the need for enhanced safety measures to minimize the occurrences of such incidents. Lokpobiri urged citizens to exercise caution during emergencies involving petrol-laden tankers, while noting that he has directed the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority to commence an investigation on the incident. The minister reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to ensuring the safety of petroleum transportation across the country. calling for sustained collaboration among relevant stakeholders to prevent similar occurrences in the future. Now, the pump prices of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, have risen to between 1,050 naira and 1,150 naira per litre, depending on the area of purchase, following the hike in the cost of the commodity by the Dangote Petroleum Refinery and various depot owners. Dealers confirmed that PMS prices would continue to rise since the major component in fuel production, crude oil, has been on the upward swing lately. The national president of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Festus Osifo, earlier alluded to this when he pointed out that petrol prices might soon rise if the cost of crude oil continued to increase. On Friday, there was an upward adjustment in the price of petrol produced by the Dangote Petrochemical Refinery. The $20 billion plant raised its PMS from 899 naira per litre to 955 naira per litre at its loading gantry. The refinery, in an email statement sent to its customers and obtained by one of our correspondents, said its refined products would now be priced at the new cost. Across Nigeria, a deepening cost of living crisis is pushing millions to the brink. But for the country's orphanages, which are home to some of its most vulnerable children, the impact is even more devastating. In Kaduna State, Ibrahim Shehu takes us inside such a haven to show the human cost of the resilience of those determined to care for Nigeria's future generations. His report.
Amid the joyful laughter, there's a harsh undertone. Caregivers battle daily to provide food, shelter, and an education to these children.
We said donation has drastically reduced because if at all, before our store, we used to have a pile of food in our stores, which may even last us up to a year or even 2 years even per se. But now it's not like that.
Across Nigeria, an estimated 1.75 million orphans face the same fate. Their caregivers are stretched thin and resources are running out.
We need food, clothes and school supplies. The donations help, but they are not enough. We hope the public will come to our aid.
Education, a critical lifeline, so too is a way out.
Here in Kaduna, orphanages have fewer resources than ever, but they are still doing all they can to support the children. Rising inflation and economic uncertainty mean fewer donations and fewer children being adopted. Many are left to grow up in orphanages like this.
This crisis is exposing the gaps in how orphan children are cared for.
I have given 33 adoption and over 2,000 are still queuing online. So we call them time to time to interview them. Maybe after interviewing 10 people, you may find out it's only 3 that are successful.
While government intervention is helping, it's not enough.
Before we are living on donation, but now the government has given us a budget line. We have releases for item, food, feeding, schooling, all their social welfare needs in the house.
Against all odds, however, some orphans remain optimistic.
I want to study hard and give back to society so I can help others like me.
Even though the determination of these children and their caregivers shines through, their future remains uncertain. Ibrahim Shehu, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
In other stories, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Taraba State University Chapter, has suspended its over 1 month strike action. The ASU chairman, Joshua Mbaver, who disclosed this in a press statement on Saturday, said the state has agreed to meet the demands of the union that necessitated the strike action on December 5, 2024. According to the statement, the strike action was necessitated by the Taraba state government's partial implementation of multiple memoranda of understanding and memoranda of action agreed upon with the union since 2014. The ASU chairman disclosed that key issues under dispute have been addressed with commitments. The ASU chairman also thanked Governor Abu Kefas for his commitment and proactive leadership in resolving the recent dispute. Now, the Lagos state government has ordered the closure of Smiler Kids Montessori School located in Heritage Place Estate, Sangotedo, following a swimming pool accident that claimed the life of a 2-year-old girl, Rafaela Ogbodo. The announcement was made via a statement shared on the Lagos state government's official X account on Saturday. According to the statement, officials from the Lagos State Safety Commission and the Office of Education Quality Assurance under the Ministry of Education visited the school to conduct a preliminary investigation into the circumstances surrounding the incident, and later sealed it to allow for a thorough investigation and also identify potential lapses that led to the unfortunate death. On Thursday, a Nigerian woman identified simply as Ella had called for justice following the death of her 2-year-old daughter at a school in Lagos. She explained that her daughter left for school on Wednesday but did not return home alive. Now, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control has shut down a pharmacy located at Onisha Crescent in the area 11 axis of Garki, Abuja, for selling expired and unregistered drugs. This was made known in a statement shared on X on Saturday. The action followed a tip-off from a concerned citizen, prompting an enforcement operation by NAFDAC officials. During the raid, the team discovered expired products valued at over 7 million naira, including H. pylori test kits, which pose serious risks to public health. The pharmacy's managing director and superintendent pharmacist were arrested for questioning as part of the investigation. In politics, the 2024 Edo State governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Asue Ighodalo, along with his party on Saturday at the Election Petition Tribunal in Benin, tendered more documentary evidence to support their petition. Recall that Ighodalo and the PDP, who are contesting the conduct of the election, had on Friday opened their case by tendering over 1,000 documents before the court. All the documents during Friday's proceedings were provisionally admitted in evidence and marked as exhibits by the tribunal, despite objections from counsel to INEC, Governor Monday Okpebolo, and the All Progressives Congress. At the resumption of the hearing on Saturday, some of the additional documents tendered from the bar by counsel to the petitioners, Ken Muzaya, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, include 55 certified true copies of polling units voters register used in the election, among others. Hearing on the petition continues on Monday, January 20, 2025.
INEC to the governor and APC objected, but they now also stated that their reason for objection will be taken at the later stage when they were writing their final written addresses.
There was low turnout of voters during the local government elections held on Saturday across Ondo State. The Ondo State Independent Electoral Commission said 13 political parties fielded candidates for the election, but the main opposition, People's Democratic Party, pulled out of the exercise on Wednesday, citing lack of trust on the electoral body to conduct credible polls. Electoral officers arrived polling units at about 8 a.m., but voter turnout was low at various polling units. Electoral officers were seen waiting for voters. An electoral officer at Sacred Heart Primary School, Akure, said less than 20 voters have voted at about 11:30 a.m. Governor Ayedatiwa, who voted at polling unit 5, Ugbo Ward 4, Ilaje local government area, commended Odiek for ensuring seamless conduct of elections. Ayedatiwa said it was a step towards enhancing grassroots development.
Categorically speak that it is low. With the pocket of reports that we've gotten today, it's fair compared to what we used to have. You can see people trooped out in fair number. The situation seems to be fair, or the process is fair.
The turnout is very good. I do not expect less. You know, we have this culture of assessing our franchise in our work. And nobody wants to be left out when it comes to voting. So I'm definitely impressed with the crowd.
It's been very peaceful, although the turnout could be better, but of course this is something that is always associated with local government election across the country.
And this is our word, our town, our Bailey, so we keep to ourselves as one family. No rank, free election. You know, local government election is like a street vote. It's like a community vote.
This is a grassroots election. So that shows that if you are not good chairman of a council or councillor, if the people don't like you, no matter what, you will see that resentment.
You're watching the News Hour tonight on Trust TV. Coming up ahead. Despite meager patronage, Kano pedicurist says business is good. We'll bring you details of this story and more after the break. We'll be right back.
The 22nd Daily Trust Dialogue theme, food security, availability or affordability. Date Thursday, 23rd January 2025. Time 10 a.m. Venue, NAV Conference Center and Suites, Kado Expressway, Abuja. Special guest of honor, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, PhD, Right Honorable Speaker, House of Representatives. Chairman of the event, Professor Reverend Father Godfrey Zamujo, Founder and Director General, Songhai Farms, Benin Republic. Guest speakers, Alhaji Idi Mukhtar Maiha, Honorable Minister of Livestock Development, Ms. Mira Mehta, co-founder and CEO, Tomato Jos. Architect Kabir Ibrahim, National President, All Farmers Association of Nigeria. The broadcast will be live on Trust TV, Star Times Channel 164, Nicomsat's free-to-air and more. For sponsorship, branding and participation, please contact 081-5176-4600 or 080-3392-8902. Don't miss out. Attendance is free.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Let's have a recap of some of our top stories. We told you that death toll from Niger Tanker Explosion rises to 77. Also, petrol pump price surges to 1,150 naira after Dangote hike. And now to other stories. Residents of the Federal Capital Territory have called on the federal government to give Jabi Lake Park a facelift to enable it meet international standards. Trustees Kabir Lawal, who spoke with some of the residents, reports that the lake has deteriorated to a level that needs a facelift. The report.
Jabi Lake in the Federal Capital Territory is always beehive of activities, especially weekends. Engineer Dairo Folari, a frequent visitor to the lake for the past 15 years, further explained that government can make it more comfortable for friends and families to relax and unwind.
It's a park. We come here for leisure, for exercises, and then because coming here we formed a very incredible bond. Quite a few of us, if you can see around, we have friends. And so coming here, it's a beautiful getaway from social vices. If you check in one of these global statistics released recently, it says Nigerians are one of the happiest people in the world. The reason being that we have devised a way around our problems. We try to make sure that we are happy no matter what.
Another resident, Abdullahi Shehu, said coming out for regular exercise at the park is important, not just to the body, but also an avenue to familiarize themselves with people from other fields.
You meet a lot of people, new faces. It's like a center of city. Everybody comes to have fun for free. You don't need to pay a dime. You understand? So we have a organization here. We have been together for over maybe 15 years now. Maybe so if anybody lost his parent or lost his loved ones, we go there, visit each other, we contribute. We're always together like a family, one family, big family. The place is not neat enough because a lot of people are coming here. You can see white. Everybody is coming to have fun, and it's the center of town. This is where everybody knows Jabi Lake. So what they need to do just to make it more fun.
Other residents urged government to provide security to curb the menace of phone snatching, among others, and also enable it attract investors.
Exercise is a way of life that is different from the other ways of life. You understand? So there's no tally between exercise and the economic realities that the country is facing. No matter what you do, you should always find a way to exercise the body.
Despite the economic crunch in the country, people still come out en masse to have fun. And one can attribute this to an adage which says, all works without play makes Jacks a dull boy. Kabir Lowell, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And the Lagos State Ministry of Environment and Water Resources Enforcement Team has punished some hoodlums for defecating at the Ile-Epo pedestrian bridge in the Abulegba area of the state. This was made known by the State Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, on X on Saturday. According to the statement, the punishment came after the accused were arrested on Saturday. They were then tasked with clearing all the filth and restoring the bridge to a clean and safe state. The Gombe State High Court has adjourned a case of alleged trespass of land involving Emir General Integrated Limited and Grand Scope Construction Limited given by the state government for construction of Mechanic Village. The case, which centers on allegations of land trespass, is now set for further hearing in February 2025. Hassan Koli has more.
Emir General Integrated Limited had filed a lawsuit against Grand Scope Construction Limited, accusing the company of trespassing on a parcel of land it claims to own. This land, originally allocated by the Gombe State government for the development of a mechanic village, is at the heart of the dispute. Emir General Integrated Limited asserts it is ownership right and claims trespass on its property.
The matter is in respect of a trespass to land committed by the defender, that is Grand Scope Construction Limited. So the plaintiff, seeing that his property is being trespassed upon, so informed us, and then we took up the matter. We filed the case before this honorable court, and then the matter is now pending before the court. And like I said, it's sub judice. There has been order of interim injunction granted by this honorable court, restraining them. As far as the court's record is concerned, I think that is the only order that is before the court now, restraining them from continuing with development.
The matter came up today for mention, so, and we did the needful. So we are served with the processes, so we now took a date to respond to the processes filed by the plaintiff counsels. Yes, so, and the matter was adjourned to 17th of February for us to respond.
During the court session, the presiding judge announced the adjournment of the case to February 17, 2025. The case is coming a month after the state government embarked on its metropolitan expansion for urban development and has sparked interest due to its implication for land allocation and development in the state. Hassan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
Zongor village in Bauchi local government area of Bauchi state is an ancient settlement with roots in the Borno Empire. predating the jihad of Sheikh Usman Danfodio. Located about 50 kilometers from Bauchi city, Zungur is renowned as the birthplace of the late Saadu Zungur, a prominent Bauchi revolutionary scholar, politician and author. Founded by Malam Idrisa, an esteemed Islamic scholar from Borno, Zungur Kogi, as it's affectionately called, has a rich history. Trasives Yushau Adamu has visited this historic village and filed in this report.
The story of Zungur Kogi begins with Zungur Duse, another settlement established by Malam Idrisa. Upon the insurrection of the late Lampodio, he relocated to the current site of Zungur Kogi. 11 traditional rulers have governed the community since its inception.
So garin Zungur muna da Zungur guda biyu.
Sarki Idrisa was from Kazargamu in the present Borno state. He was the founder and the first Sarkin Zungur Kogi. When the first emir of Bauchi, Malam Yakub, was preparing to visit Sokoto to officially receive his plaque for the jihad from the revered scholar Sheikh Usman Danfodio, Malam Idrisa was among those picked for the journey to Sokoto. Sarki Idrisa was killed in a village called Tofi in the present Ningi local government area of Bauchi state. And after his demise, the title of Sarkin Zungur went to another family because his children then were young. 37 years after, the title returned to our family when Muhammad Bello, Idrisa's grandchild, was appointed Sarkin Zungur, and up till today, the title is with our family. I was appointed Sarkin Zungur on the 23rd of October 2010 by the present Emir of Bauchi, Dr. Rilwanu Suleiman Adamu.
Zungur River is a vital resource supporting the community's livelihood through dry season farming. Crops like maize, millet, beans, and corn are cultivated during the rainy season, while ground chili pepper, tomato, onion, rice, and wheat thrive in the dry season.
Our major occupation in Zungur is farming and animal rearing. We are into both rainy and dry season farming, producing several crops, including maize, beans, corn, and millet in the rainy season, while in the dry season we produce pepper, tomato, onion, and legumes.
Yes, good, my friend.
Zungur boasts a remarkable legacy in the home of Saad Zungur, born into the family of Malam Muhammad Bello, the 9th village head. A renowned nationalist, the late Saad Zungur was admired for his tireless efforts, dedication, political acumen, and significant contribution to Nigerian politics. Despite its proximity to the state capital and the contribution of its most famous son, Zungur's development remains inadequate.
It is unfortunate that despite late Zungur's enormous contribution to the Nigerian independence, his hometown has been neglected by the Nigerian government. Our children, after completing junior secondary school, had to trek several kilometers to either Liman Katagum or Bununu communities for their senior secondary education. Here in Zungur, we don't have a senior secondary school, even though we deserve to have one considering our population.
Beyond a primary and junior secondary school, a small healthcare facility, and an untarred road, there is little evidence of government presence. Even the historic Sarkin Zungur Palace is in a state of disrepair, with some sections collapsed and the others dilapidated.
Wannan kungiya ce ta matasan gunduman Zungur wanda aka kafa ta tare da.
We have formed an association called Zungur Kogi Youth Progressive Association with a view to promoting educational activities and sensitizing our youth on the importance of peace and unity. We are also sensitizing our people on the issues bordering politics.
If Zungur were located in a developed country, it would undoubtedly be a focal point for government attention, and its socio-economic development will be far more advanced. However, hope is not lost, as many believe that it will get the attention it deserves someday in the future. Yusho Adamu, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
And the need to identify the impact of economic and environmental factors on women's health and how to address them for a better society has been emphasized. This came to the fore at a panel discussion organized by the Development Research and Project Center. Ado Musa was at the event and now reports.
This national gathering gathered health practitioners and scientists from across Nigeria for lectures on Nigerian women's health, the impact of economic and environmental stressors held in Jos. Organized by the DRPC, the panel aims to raise awareness among women about the ways in which economic and environmental stressors affect Nigerian women's health. In their individual submissions, the panelists provided explanations on the environmental impact on mental health, the effect of climate change on women's health, the role of gender in women's responses to health issues, and strategies for women to prioritize their health.
Our cultural practices actually it affects a lot the women. It affects the women a lot in that it does not look at the woman as somebody who should be heard, who should be listened to. Climate change is set to affect maternal and neonatal health very, very greatly. And the projections are, many studies are being done because extreme heat in countries such as Nigeria or countries that are in the tropics, we haven't really taken it seriously because we already live in hot environments.
The society will now tell you, okay, leave the man, let him do it, you know, hide under the man. Are we together? Hide under the man, so you know, it's like, okay, for example, you're the one that's catering for the house 80%, and they expect you to carry the money and give the man, let the society sees that he is the breadwinner. And then you think your mindset is okay.
One thing I know is not all sickness or all the problems that we have can be solved medically. You can agree with me. Most of our women, as we know, they are very poor and helpless. They are suffering there. No one to help them.
The panelists emphasized the need for women to adhere to professional advice on addressing the economic and environmental stressors affecting their health.
The basic issue there is that there is no awareness, the level of awareness, and I think for people, maybe close to the health sector, that are in the villages can create awareness in the women on how to go about this. Increased coordination between different women professionals. For example, doctors should do more research with academics in universities, especially when it comes to such environmental issues.
Once you understand that your brain is beginning to wire the other way around, do not sit down in your room. Get a mental health practitioner and talk to the person.
The first step to be taken is to look for how to empower them. When we give them empowerment, when the women have something that they will have themselves, I know they will be able to take care of themselves and their children.
Dr. Plansat Bitrus is a gender expert and consultant for DRPC. She also highlighted how women can get out of the economic and environmental challenges.
First of all, I would say that when there are economic stressors, women themselves tend to push back and then prioritize the economic needs of their children and family, and so leaving them behind. And sometimes it causes for them a lot of other issues from depression, etc. So what we are saying is that women should learn to prioritize their health needs. They should listen to their body. When their body speaks, they should act, because if they are not strong and healthy enough, they can't take care of the family.
Records have shown that women in Nigeria face numerous economic and environmental challenges that intersect with societal and cultural factors. This intersection not only exacerbates existing health issues, but also creates significant barriers to accessing essential healthcare services. Adomusa, Trust TV News, Jos.
More in health matters. A consultant dermatologist from the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, Dr. Anaba Yage, says frequent use of a sponge for bathing is unnecessary. According to Dr. Yage, while sponging oneself is acceptable, a soft cloth or washcloth should be used, adding that sponges should be avoided entirely for children. The report.
According to Dr. Ehiage, bathing with a sponge isn't inherently harmful, but frequent use, especially with harsh sponges, can be problematic. While sponges come in various types and colors, exfoliating the skin through sponge use is not essential but is popular because it is a practice often passed down through generations.
Most people use sponge simply because we have all grown up using sponge. But you need to realize that when you use a sponge, what you actually do is you are scraping off the top surface of the skin, and the word for that is exfoliating. And now you actually need that surface to protect the human skin, because that surface does not allow bacteria or other things to penetrate the skin. So when you keep scrubbing, you actually scrub up that your protective layer. That's one. Number two, and very importantly, a lot of people, by the time they scrub a lot, they actually make what we call histamines, and this can result in people being itchy. That's the skin becomes itchy. So really, sponging you don't need. When we have a bath, all we want to do is just take off the dirt.
To understand the prevalence of sponge use, we spoke to Lagos residents about their bathing habits and those of their children.
They have their method on how they take their bath and how often they make use of their sponges and soaps. But as for me, I take bathing as one of my medicine. One of the medicine I get, especially if I'm tired. So each time I take my bath, I get more relief. I'll become more relief. So for me, I take my bath either once or twice in a day.
For me, I normally use my sponge if I return back from work in the evening. So, but if I want to take my night bath, I will not take any like sponge, because of, I want to go and rest, and I don't need anything like a sponge. I'll just take my bath with enough water, shower very well. But as for my children, children, their skin is very light. Likewise, parents also, their skin is very light. We don't need to have something.
I use sponge only in the morning when I'm going to work in the morning. So coming back in the evening, I only bathe with bathing soap and water. Then my children, in the morning when they're going to school, I bathe them with sponge. When they return from school, because of the play in the school and whatever, I use bathing soap and water to bathe them. Then going to bed at night, I use only water, ordinary water, to bathe them.
Dr. Anaba strongly advised parents, particularly mothers, to refrain from using sponges on their children. Instead, she recommends bathing them with plenty of water and soap while gently rubbing their bodies with their hands.
Applies to everybody, all ages, especially children. Now the child, what is the child? They're just playing in the sand, and what's on the child's skin? Just dust. Soap and water, we get that out. There's no point, there's no need to use a hard sponge on a child's skin, and that skin is so tender. You don't want to do that to the child, and then the next thing, you have a lot of cuts on the child, and before you know it, there's another disease coming on the child. So please, mothers, if you're listening, please, no hard sponge on your child. Just use a soft cloth if you must use a sponge.
The medical consultant and dermatologist advised that if a sponge must be used, a soft cloth or washcloth is preferable, adding that hands are perfectly capable of effectively cleaning our bodies.
Local nail cutting business is not considered lucrative by any stretch of imagination, but 65-year-old Salihu Abdullahi says he performed holy pilgrimage and built his personal house through proceeds from the business. Ahmed Dati, who had a chat with a Kano-based local pedicurist, sent this report.
Malam Salihu Abdullahi joined the nail cutting business at a very young age and is proud of his accomplishment in the job with over 50 years of experience.
When I started this job, I was charging just 1 or 2 shilling, and later it rose to 5 shilling, and later 20 shilling.
Through savings from his earnings, the 65-year-old Salihu Abdullahi is a proud owner of a house. He is living with his family at Endinsha quarters.
Through this business, I was opportune to travel and perform holy pilgrimage. Prominent people among my clients were Suleji Kankorau, Ibrahim Babankowa, the policeman, and the late Abubakar Rimi.
Sai Alhaji Ibrahim Babankowa wanda ya yi kwamishina na 'yan sanda a dacin Malas. Sai Rimi Alhaji Kanshi. The late Abubakar Rimi, former governor of Old Kano State, was among some of the regular clients of Abdullahi, who say he derives pleasure doing the job. Ahmed Depti, Trust TV News, Kano.
And now to developments in business. The chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Taiwo Oyedele, has assured Nigerians that the ongoing economic reforms by the present administration are beginning to yield good results. Oyedele gave the assurance while speaking on the benefits of the ongoing reforms on the platform organized by the Covenant Nation on Saturday, while he emphasized that removing petrol subsidies is the best decision Nigeria could ever make. Oyedele explained that the Nigerian government had resorted to printing of money to spend, which according to him was the worst any country could ever do. He advised Nigerians to have a positive outlook on the country.
Do you know how many times Nigeria removed fuel subsidy in the past? I've lost count. I don't know anybody here who knows how many times since independence we had removed fuel subsidy. Why is it that it's always coming back? Does it have 9 lives? It was because we thought we removed subsidy, but we knew we did not. You can only remove subsidy when you set the market structures for price determination. If that structure has not been set, you know what? Even when the president said May 29 subsidy was gone, we didn't set that market mechanism, was not set. So people started looking at the price. NNPC said, don't worry, that's not the price. NNPC said, the price is this. NNPC was setting the price of PMS. Before we could blink, subsidy was back. Because the incentive for fraud is so huge, there's almost nothing else you could do but to remove that subsidy. As painful as it has been, I believe that it is the necessary decision that we eventually took as a country. And we can now say that for once, subsidy is gone.
On the foreign scene, thousands gathered in northern Liberia on Saturday for the funeral of warlord turned politician Prince Johnson, a notorious face of the country's brutal civil wars who died without facing trial. Back-to-back conflicts devastated the small West African country from 1989 until 2003, claiming around 250,000 lives and resulting in massacres, mutilation, rape, cannibalism, and the widespread use of child soldiers. Johnson became infamous in 1990 after appearing in a video sipping beer and being found by a woman as he calmly watched his fighter slowly mutilate and torture President Samuel Doe to death. The former rebel leader was identified as having the highest number of violations by any individual perpetrator during the gruesome wars, according to a 2009 Truth and Reconciliation Commission report. Saturday's burial marks the end of a 5-day state funeral, which saw his body displayed outside Parliament in the capital, Monrovia, before being transported to his home county of Nimba. Now, Israel's Justice Ministry had said 737 prisoners and detainees will be freed as part of the first phase of the Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal approved Saturday. It said in a statement on its website that the government approves the release of 737 prisoners and detainees currently in the custody of the prison service. Israel's cabinet voted the approval to approve the ceasefire deal early Saturday, according to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office, ending days of uncertainty about whether the truce would go into effect this weekend. Those named by the ministry include men, women and children who it said will not be released before Sunday at 4 p.m. local time. It's time now for sports news with Adeni Ajishafe.
The Nigerian Volleyball Federation (NVBF) has appointed Elishama Elam as the head coach of the national senior women's team. Elam will be assisted by Shegun Abinde, assistant coach of Kano Pillars Volleyball Club, and the coach of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps Volleyball Club, Chinyere Onoha. Elam expressed his excitement about the new role and his vision for the team. The former national under-19 women's coach emphasized the importance of selecting the right players for the national team, with plans to introduce a more structured approach to team preparations. Elishama Elam led Nigeria women's team to win gold medal at the Anoka Games 2023 Zone 3 in Lome, Togo. Plans are underway to give several stadium and sports facilities in Rivers State a facelift, in line with the latest plans of Rivers State Ministry of Sport to develop sport in Rivers State. Rivers State Commissioner of Sport, Barrister Christopher Green, said Adokia Meshiamaka Stadium, Yakubu Gowon Stadium, Alfred J.T. Smith Sports Complex, amongst others, are some of the sports facilities earmarked for upgrade. The stadium, built in 2015 by Rivers State government, with a capacity of 38,000 with all stands covered, 2 training pitches, hockey pitch, a shooting range and 25 emergency exits, among other features, as the most equipped stadium in Nigeria. The stadium officially opened on 19 July 2015, hosted 2016 Olympic men's football qualifier between Nigeria and Congo. And B Soccer. Kebbi B Soccer League defending champion Kebbi United and 3 other teams have received their sport at the 2024-2025 Kebbi B Soccer League Super 4. In round 3 of the league, BAM Projects B Soccer Club defeated Dalhatu United 11-6, with Navzifiz Sani scoring 4 goals. Monde Joseph, Moniru Aliyu and Sadiq Umar scored 2 goals apiece. Usama Abubakar scored 3 goals for Dalhatu United. Abdulaziz Aliyu a brace. Magatakada Big Soccer Club finished top of the table with 24 points, 3 points ahead of BAM Project. Kebbi United in third place with 18 points and fourth place Dalhatu United Big Soccer Club with 16 points. The 2024-2025 Kebbi B Soccer League Super 4 is expected to take place in February 2025 to determine the league winner. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Ajishafe.
Very well, then that's about the size of our packet for you on the News Hour tonight. Do not forget, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs and documentary. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.